City Council of Honolulu, Kirk Caldwell.
Good evening and aloha. You know, it is an honor to be out here tonight before all of you, gentlemen and beautiful young women of the operating engineers. You know, it is an honor. Last week I got endorsed by the operating engineers, and I took that as a real privilege because of what you guys do every day in our community. As you guys all know, and you well know, you're first in on any project. It doesn't start until you start. And when you start, the rest of us go to work. And I mean all of us, whether we're operating engineers or not. Because when Honolulu is working, because you're working, the rest of us are working, and our state is working too, because if Honolulu works, our state does work. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. You look at me and you see some skinny-ass, howly guy standing up here. But I am local in that I was born in Waipahu and raised in Hilo. And I talk about this all the time, because it says who I am as a person. These two communities, I was born in 1952 in a plantation hospital in Waipahu. My dad was a plantation doctor out there. Our house is where the Philcom Center, parking lot in the back of the Philcom Center is. That's where I lived, that's where I grew up. We moved to Hilo when I was a young kid. And these two small plantation towns made me who I am to this day, and I'm really proud of what it's made me. It's made me understand that we get more done by working as a community and supporting each other. That's what we did in Waipahu, that's what we did in Hilo, and that's how I've acted for my entire life, whether it was in the private sector for a good 30 years, or in the House of Representatives, where I was the chair of the Labor Committee and the Majority Leader, and when I was at the city as a managing director, working with the operating engineers on rail, and as the acting mayor when Mufi stepped down. For me, it's about collaboration, working together, and helping each other. And I've gotten the endorsements of other unions in the past. And I hope that I'll get the endorsements of other unions in the future. And some people think it's because, hey, he's in the pocket of the unions. And I tell them, I'm in the pocket of working families. I identify with what hard work is. And I got very valuable lessons in that as a kid. My dad, like I mentioned, was a doctor. But he believed in hard work, and he told me I had to go work at Puna Sugar in the Sakuran gang, which is a wheat spray gang. And I did that for 2 summers and 1 winter, when they shut down our schools on the East Coast when I was going to college. And I saw what hard work was all about. And I also saw what unions are all about. Because the LW, which organized those plantations, made sure that I got a really good wage, better than kids my age in doing other jobs. And I saw the benefits that they provided because of the hard work of unions, and not only when I was there, but generations before. And you marched that march today. And I want to march it with you to make this city even better. And why it's important that I get the operating engineers is because I look at the job as the mayor of the city and county of Honolulu as one about creating jobs, getting more work out onto the street so that we can live better, so we can pay our mortgages, our rent, take care of our families, and feel better about ourselves. Because you know what that means in terms of self-esteem when you bring home a good wage. And the city can do that. And I believe the current mayor is not doing that. He is not moving projects through fast enough, including rail. When I left the city with Mufi, we had the project this close to the finish line. It's now rolled backwards because Mayor Carlisle has taken his eye off the ball and decided to travel all over the world. And he thinks it's kind of play and fun here, and acting goofy and telling jokes. And rail is about 24/7, every day, keeping pressure on this highly controversial project and knowing every single issue and worrying every night when you go to sleep about what the problems are going to be the next day. This project is very important because it does create thousands of jobs. But it also changes how we live in this city because we redesigned the city around our transit stations. And why is that critical to all of you? More jobs. $20 billion worth of construction work around transit stations over the life of this project. $20 billion. The rail project is 5.5. And when it's finished, there's more affordable housing for all of us in the urban core. So our children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren can afford to stay here and live here with all of us. instead of having to move away to the mainland to buy cheaper houses. That's what the rail project is about. Peter Carlisle is jeopardizing this project. And then you have Ben Cayetano, who wants to kill the project. He doesn't care if Dan Inouye walks up to him with a check for $1.55 billion from the federal government and says, this is for jobs. This is to build a project. I don't want it. Send it to the mainland to build another transit system on the mainland. Because I want to stay with the status quo. Status quo is not good enough for us. And he plays on our fear, and he's doing it very, very effectively. He's scaring all of us. And it's easy to do. I was talking to Pani, the leader of the union. You know, Pani gets up and says, let's do this. And for his statement, let's do this, the guys can find 10 reasons why not to. But it's not about the no, it's about the yes. It's about moving forward. It's about being better as a community. And this rail project is about that. And yes, there are scary parts about this project. But let's not play on the fear, let's play on the hope. And let's talk about where the fear exists, how to address it, so that there is more hope and we can address your concerns so the project goes forward. This is critical. Now I want to say one other thing about Mayor Carlisle and road repaving. When I was at the city, we expedited road repaving, $155 million worth in about 18 months. We doubled the amount. And when we started, the city was doing some of that work. And your union, the head of your union came and said, this is unacceptable. And as the managing director, we stopped it. We stopped the city from road repaving so you could road repave. And why is that? Again, it's about putting you guys back to work, getting jobs out on the street so we can all live better. Mayor Carlisle, in his most recent budget, has cut road repaving back dramatically. He talks about let's cut back on CIP so that we can save money for the future. But when you're in a recession, you want to spend that money, get work out on the street, because what happens? It comes in cheaper, so you can do more with your money and repave more roads, and you help grow out of this recession, which we need to do. I'm going to do that as your next mayor. I'm going to repave more roads. I'm going to push the rail project. I'm going to push other construction projects. I want to be a partner with contractors, union-approved contractors and developers to build projects like Ho'opili, to build hotels in Waikiki, to get more work now in this recession so we can grow out of it and create more jobs for all of us. But I can't do it without you. Your union heads have endorsed me, and that is a really good, positive thing. But I'm not going to get there unless each one of you goes back and tells your family, your friends, that this guy is okay. You should give him your trust and vote for him. And I want to earn your vote. And tonight is the first step about earning your vote. I want to come back again. I want to talk to you. I want to meet with you. I want you to know more about myself so that you can feel good when you go to the voting booth and vote for me, and you can get as many other people that are in your family and in your neighborhood, your friends and neighbors, to vote for me. Because if that happens, I win. I win, I stand here with your union to work with you together. I am about that. I'm not going to forget. Watch my actions, just not my mouth. I've shown that to guys like John Moniz when I was in the legislature, and I'll show it to you in the future. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry for making you stay longer. I know you guys got to go home and go back to work at 7 tomorrow. But thank you. I'm really honored to get the endorsement. I won't forget it, and I hope I can convince each one of you in this room and the rest of your membership to vote for me on August 11th. Thank you so much. Thanks.